Hello and welcome to the demo video for the football team season comparison. This is a spreadsheet which I originally did for the English Premier League. I've subsequently changed it so that it can actually work for any of the leagues. So the English Premier League, the Championship, League One, League Two. The only real criteria are as follows. Obviously, this is talking about football as in English football or European football. It's not talking about American football. So if I've got any lost Americans looking for American football stuff, this is not it. Second of all, it needs to have a maximum of 24 teams in the league. So it'll work for the Premiership and it'll also work for the other leagues. If you've got your own Sunday league that you do, as long as there are no more than 24 teams, it'll work for that as well. And it also works on the premise that there's 3 points for a win, 1 for a draw, and 0 for a loss. And lastly, it works on the premise that the team that you're doing this for is actually in the same division each season that you compare. So, for example, if you're supporting a team in the Championship and they get promoted into the Premiership, you can't compare the Championship season to the Premiership season because there's possibly only another 2 other teams that you played the season before, and everyone else is new. So it won't work for that. It will only work if the team that you're doing this for has actually been in the same league or same division for 2 seasons in a row, or even longer. Let me show you how it works. I've done it in such a way that you can set it up for your team. And then if you do use it a second season, you don't have to do as much setup. There's a bit of copy and pasting. I'll show you how it works. So you can ignore this first tab. This just explains what it's about, but the actual setup in this case is on the season setup. So if you start from the left, work your way up to the right, you should in theory come right. So if all of this is blank when you start, and you can actually type in the names of the teams that were in the league that you're focusing on, that were in the league last season. So if you're starting, whatever season you're starting in, you fill in last season's teams that were in that particular league. Make sure that you obviously, if you're in the Premiership, that you put Manchester United, Manchester City, or whatever, not just Manchester and Manchester, because you don't want the same name twice. But yeah, if all those are unique, as you can see, I've used the first division. I'm going to focus on Peterborough United, but you can do whichever one you want. You type in the names of the teams, and then start in the next column and work your way down. So click on that and select the team that was in the league last season that you wish to focus on, and then select any teams that were promoted out of this league that previous season. So I've gone for the 2023-24 season here. So I've said that last season, Plymouth, Ipswich, and Sheffield Wednesday were promoted out. And who was relegated into this league? So I've typed in Reading, Blackpool, and Wigan. These ones you can select because obviously they were in the league last season. These ones weren't, so you type them. And then it says who was relegated out of this league, and you can select the teams that were relegated out, and who was promoted into this league, and you type in who was promoted from the league below. Now, just bear in mind that you want to put them in the right order, because, for example, Plymouth, because they were promoted out of this league, so because Plymouth won the league, they will be top. And then if you look at here, because Reading were the kind of 3rd worst team to be relegated into this league, they will replace Plymouth. Blackpool replaces Ipswich, and Wigan replaces Sheffield Wednesday. So that, if you put them in the right order, make sure that they're 3 to match the 3, and here is 4 to match the 4 coming up from the previous league. And if you've got all green ticks down here, then that means that you haven't done anything wrong. It's all correct, and you've done the right thing. What that will then do is that will then create all the fixtures for the upcoming season. So as you can see, it puts a team that I've selected first, and then lists all the other teams in order, and then does the similar away fixture. And then this will be blank. And once you've done all of that, and this is populated, you can then go down and fill in the scores from last season. So I've just put in random numbers in here. So these, if you're looking at these scores thinking, I don't remember those results, that's exactly why. I've just put in some random numbers. So you can put in, so here the home team would be Peterborough, and the away team then would be Accrington Stanley. So you can put the home and away goals in to give you the result. And you only need to do that the first season. Once you've done that, ignore this to the right here for now. these home and away and the teams in the league. I'll show you what that does. If all of these now have got green ticks, it means everything's all good. You filled in all the results. And then what you can do is you can go to the results tab, and this gives you the fixtures for this season. Now, this will be blank. So all you need to do is, as each fixture happens, come into this column, type in the date of the fixture, because in typing the date of the fixture, it knows what order to put these, because they're at the moment, just in order of, home team, your team first and your team away, all in order. So as you come to each fixture, as your team plays, you come to the screen, find the fixture that they played in, pop in the date. It doesn't have to be in order. Obviously, they might play this match and then they might play that match next or whatever. Just come and pop the date in, put in the home score, put in the away score, and then this date tells the spreadsheet in what order to actually put the things on the graph. And here you can see it pulls out, it tells you the result, but it pulls out the result from last season as well, so that it can compare. Obviously, if a team that's listed here wasn't in that league last season, it takes the respective team that was promoted or relegated to put into their place, and it shows you. And that all pops up in the comparison. So here you can see the comparison of the total points after compared matches. So each match, all the way along, it shows you how many, what the total points. So these graphs should go up and up and up and up and up. And you can see last season compared to this season as to how many points they've got. And you can also see the goal difference last season towards this season. You can see here how many games are won, drawn, lost, goal difference, goals for, goals against. So that will show you the comparison of the two teams. When you've actually finished that, and you've got the end of the season and you've seen how your team has done compared to what they did the previous season, and you're all happy with this, and you want to start a new season, and what you then do, instead of having to type up all the results again, is you simply go back to the season setup. You'll have all the new results in here. So what you do is you follow it in this order, and you can't really go wrong. If you select that, all your teams in the league, this is the current season, and you right click and you say copy. And then you can come to here and you can say right click and paste values. Not normal paste. Normal paste will paste all the formatting and lock everything down and ruin the spreadsheet. If you do paste values, then you just paste the data that's in this season, which then becomes last season. When you do that, then these ones here are going to show up as errors, because you're going to have to reapply this who was promoted, who was relegated story to get all of these as green ticks. So you can redo these ones here as far as who was relegated, who was promoted. Once you've done that, before you clear your data from the other tab, you will then have all of your new games down here. And you'll have all of the results that you've got typed in that relate to those games over here. So all you can do is you can then come here and copy this section all the way down to the end of the block. Copy and come here and click paste values. And when you do that, that saves you having to type in all of these results from the previous season, because it knows what they are and it just pops them in. Once you've then done that copy and paste values, if all of these are all legit and everything all looks okay, you can double check one or two of these scores. If this doesn't work, let me know, because sometimes this might go faulty and I would need to fix it. But if that works, then if all those scores seem to line up, then what you can do is, once you're happy with this tab, you can come to the results and just select all the old results from last season. Now that you've got the new data, down to the bottom, right click, clear contents. And once you've cleared those, you're then ready to refill them in again for the new season. So this means that you can actually update your spreadsheet, but you can use it for any of the divisions the leagues that I just spoke of, rather than me having to update all the fixtures and be set for the Premier League. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that you find that useful. As I said, if you have any, I don't offer support on the free spreadsheets. But if you think that there's an error or something, please do let me know. But yeah, I wish you and your football club all the best. Thank you and goodbye.